It's pouring down heavily here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex, but Adisa Production has promised that whether rain or shine, we will go to the nooks and crannies of this country to bring you the very best. That is the Ghana Premier League. Now, some 2 seasons ago, this was just an Ashanti derby, but it has metamorphosed over the last few years to become one of the giant fixtures we have in the Ghana Premier League. It's Nations FC who are coming up against arch rivals Asante Kotoko here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Big game. And I've been joined by Kumasi sports journalist, that is Michael Akomia, and one man who recently won the Ghana Premier League is here to help with that discussion. My name is Mutala Yakubu. There's a lot to talk about as far as this game is concerned. But before that, earlier in the week, we spoke to Heart of Lions assistant coach Daniel Nieje, who has been talking about how Premier League has evolved over time.
Coach Drew asked me, can I play there? And I said yes. So after first half, and then the white guy called me and then asked me, he said, I see that you are not a right back. And I said, yes, I'm a midfielder. And they said, okay, don't worry. He likes the way I play at the right back because that's how he wants his right back to play. And then that was a breakthrough for me. And then I got registered and then it started from there. It was very tough because as a young guy coming up, meeting all these experienced guys in the league, looking at the players like Ahindia, Edmond Owusu-Ansah, CID, Francis Akwafo, it wasn't easy. My first game was Boase, a CAF Champions League against a Gambian team, and I played a right back, and then through that match, I was able to also get a penalty for the team, and then we won 1-0. And then we went away, and then that was when Coach Bash came in. Coach Bash took us to that match, and then we drew then, and we played the penalties, and then we were knocked off. So that is where my first game started, a Champions League in Obuasi. With Coach Bash. It was 2008. That was my first time winning the league, and then it was exciting because I'm playing for a team like Asante Kotoko, and then I think that was my first season in the league. I'm one person that I don't like losing. I don't like defeat, and then whatever I do, I try to put my all in it to get something from it. So I was working very hard, and then I think my players at that time, and then the coach, Maxwell Kunodo at that time, I think they helped me a lot. They helped me a lot because they were there for me. They helped me to get to that point and that height.
Daniel Nieje, assistant coach, currently with Heart of Lions, Lenin, and Bashir Hayford. We're here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Big one, as I said, Nations FC coming up against Asante Kotoko. And I've been joined by Michael Akomia, and a man who is a Premier League holder. I am currently privileged to be closer to him. Coach Frimpong Manso has also joined us. But, I mean, let's roll it back to yesterday where we had the big game at the Takwa TNA Stadium. It was Mediema who managed to beat Dreams FC by 2-1. So it means that Mediema are now on top of the Ghana Premier League. Coach, it's been a good ride for your friend Ibrahim Tanko. What seemed to be doing the magic for Mediema?
I think they had a very good preseason. If you look at the teams in the country, I think they are the only team who went beyond the country to do its preseason. So that tells you right from the first day its intentions that they will want to do well in this competition. So for me, the way they started their preseason shows us that this is what is going to happen. So for me, I think they will continue to do well. Yeah.
Michael, it seems they always find a way of bouncing back after a disappointing result. And it's one thing that is helping Mediema currently. It's too early, but do they look like genuine title contenders?
Yes, it's a mixture of experience and quality. Players like Abdullah Nuruddin, Kamara Dini, Yusuf Mubarak, Derek Fodjo, these guys played a part in last 2 seasons where they won the Ghana Premier League and competed in the CAF Champions League. They've had some young chaps come into the scene, Prince Owusu, Emmanuel Owusu, formerly of Bechem United. That particular blend gives you the edge when it comes to matching the physical levels of other teams in the Ghana Premier League. And the mental levels to the experience comes in and also helps you. With Coach Ibrahim Tanko, he has a vast experience when it comes to the Ghana Premier League. He has been with Accra Lions for quite some time. And even after being the assistant coach at a point in time at the 2017 AFCON, came to coach the Ghana under-23, took them to the championship. Unfortunately, they could not win. But I think he's one coach we should actually look out for, that he can blend this particular team, get results from them, and make sure that they compete for the league.
So it's joy for Ibrahim Tanko and Midiama. But coach, you know all about pressure. I'm looking at Winfred Drummond. 5 games, no win. How much of a pressure can that be if you are in that position? You have been there before.
Nobody should tell you about that. I mean, you can even... the people outside can even feel the heat. You know, they feel for the coaches sometimes, especially going 4 games without a win. Nobody should tell you. Your conscience or your mind will tell you that, no, this is what is maybe in store for me or for the team. So, yes, it's not easy going 4 games without a win, no.
Big one, it's not that easy, and Asante Kotoko would want to get their first ever win today against Nations FC. Akomia, you are in this region. Why is it so difficult for Kotoko to beat Nations? Because 4 games, 3 defeats, 1 draw. Even though Coach Karim Zito says that it must change today.
Yes, it's really going to be very difficult for both teams. Mutala, you know, in the land of a warrior, definitely every blade of grass holds a memory. And we can go back to the memory lane and understand that Nations FC's debut season has certain markings that actually look like this season in terms of points accumulation. Let's not forget that in the first 4 games for Nations in their debut season, they had 4 points out of possible 12. And their 5th game in that particular league season was against Kumasi Asante Kotoko. They drew 2-2 in that particular encounter. So it's one particular game that takes us back to understand what Nations is all about. And Nations is actually, let me say, a subset of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Most administrators who work with Kotoko are working for Nations FC. Some players who played for Kotoko moved to Nations FC. So we would understand that this has become a proper regional derby in the absence of teams like Kim Faisal and Obuasi Ashanti Gold.
Coach, I want to find out from you. I mean, when we talk about a team being a boogie side for you, is this something that has to do with the psychology, knowing that anytime I play against this team, I lose? And how do you change that?
Well, sometimes you might have some teams like that, you know, and it's difficult overcoming such situation. It might look simple, but so it's there. It's in the head. The players, everybody is in their psyche. So those things, it takes 1 day or 1 match to break all those things. So yes, the mentality of the team has to change. And everything, they don't have to think anything negative, you know, that this is what we are going to do. And if we're able to do that, sometimes we're able to break some of those genes. Yeah.
Okay, and also back to Asante Kotoko. They are building up to that game against Wydad Athletic in the CAF Confederation Cup. How much of an importance is today's game to their cause in that game?
Yeah, I think it's a very important game for Kotoko. All the nations will also need that points. And Kotoko already has had, I think, 3 league games, and then they will have another one before going to Africa. So it will mean a lot to them if we're able to pass this test before they go to work. It will be psychologically, it will move their morale. So it's very important going into this game, into this game. Yeah.
And Asante Kotoko got a win against your former club in midweek. That is Baby Gold Stars. They won by 2 goals 2-0. And we want to continue that from this afternoon as they come up against Nations FC. A lot to talk about. The 2 coaches have spoken, and I'll tell you something interesting about what both of them said. We take a quick breather here. It's still the Ghana Premier League on TV3 and on Nya TV. We'll be right back. It's the Ghana Premier League live on TV3 and on Nya TV at the Sub Production Limited, continuing to bring you magic as we promised. Big one that we are looking forward to today in the Ghana Premier League Match Day 5 at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. It is Nations FC who are coming up against Asante Kotoko. Kotoko are looking for their first ever victory against Nations ever since they were promoted into the Ghana Premier League. 4 games being played between the pair, Nations winning 3 and Kotoko getting just a draw in that one. Last season, Nations did a double over Asante Kotoko. My name is Mutala Yakubu, still here with Coach Frimpong Manso and Michael Akomi. And now the two teams are at the venue, and let's take a look at the arrival. It was Nations FC, the home side, that got in first, very fired up. You saw all the players, Emmanuel Arno, Razak Simpson, all coming down from their beautiful bus with the Nations inscription. There you see them coming down from their bus. Their head coach, Kasim Mingo, says that today they will continue this one. That is the beautiful dressing room of Nations FC. Razak Simpson, he has already had a taste of national team football. He's been with the Black Stars before, and today he is captain of this team. For Asante Kotoko, they also made their way to the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex in their porcupine bus. Beautiful, red, built, heavy. It travels all over the country, and it sends the porcupines to the nooks and crannies of this country just to go and play football. Asante Kotoko also coming down from their bus and ready to do battle against Nations FC. That is the dressing room of the porcupines. A lot at stake for them, especially knowing that 3 points today will do them a lot of good as far as the league campaign is concerned. But when the coaches arrived at the stadium, we had a quick word with them. We're starting with the coach of Nations FC, Kasim Mingo. He says that the tradition of beating Kotoko will continue again. In the Ghana Premier League, does that give you added confidence going into this game?
I would say it's a plus for us to use it to incite the walls up. It's going to be a very competitive this afternoon.
Now, judging from Kotoko's form and what they did in midweek against Gold Stars, what kind of game are you anticipating?
I'm anticipating free-flowing football. I think they are going to play, they are in form. We are also going to play. But the better side will carry. With Lagby on side, will carry the day.
Now, we checked the lineup, we saw no Albert Amoa. Is that good news in disguise for you?
It's not part of the team. Well, it's not a good news for us. When you map up your strategy against some player and you come is not in, you have to go and revise your strategy. So the person coming in will also want to impress. For the money to the technical to know that when this man is not there, I can also play. So it's dangerous that way. So whoever wear the jersey is a Kotoko player. So we don't say this man is not part, this man is not part, so we are happy. No.
Now, the last 2 games you've played haven't been good for you. You've not had a win. What would 3 points mean today? Mingo can't say winless in their last 2 games, but he is confident that they would get a win today against Asante Kotoko. For Karim Zito, can't say they actually got a win in midweek against Bibiani Gold Stars, and he is optimistic that today will be the first time Kotoko would beat Nations FC. It's Nations FC.
Yeah.
I mean, judging from what Kotoko have done against them in the last 4 games, where they've not won any, what kind of game are you anticipating from your opponents?
Well, as you said, it's a very big game. Want you to know every Kotoko game is a very big match. So we are approaching this game with a different mentality, so that we try to cancel the motive of we not winning here. So we are here to play and win today.
Now we check the lineup, no Albert Amoa. Is it that he didn't recover in time for this game, or is it a precautionary measure?
No, we tackle the game according to how we are prepared. Unfortunately, you saw what happened to him, and I don't want to risk. Before, I always ask who first he can play because of injury. So I just took him out of. Since after that game, he didn't train. And so it is another opportunity for somebody also to showcase his own skills. So it's not intentionally. I had wanted to use him and then prepare for the next game.
Abdul Karim Zito, FA Cup winner with his side, that is Asante Kotoko, and also won it with Dreams FC before joining the Porcupines. Now he is confident that victory will be his today as he leads Kotoko to face with that during the CAF Confederation Cup, which will come up later. But Dewa 539 has a message for you, and they say that end your day like a champion with Dewa 539 direct. Now wind down with a win at 7 p.m. with numbers 1 to 39. The odds are stacked in your favor. Multiply your stake with 5 Ghana CD and above by a jaw dropping 5,000 with direct 4 and 50,000. Now on direct 5, when all your numbers match the draw results, you can win something huge. Now they say play now and watch your mobile wallet fill up with winnings. Dial *446# or visit dewanla.com to win now. Now, coach, I mean, both managers are very confident. For Karim Zito, even without Albert Amwa in his ranks, he is confident that he will get a victory today.
Yeah, the whole team is playing well, and the last time Wednesday he couldn't complete the entire game, but from the way he was running, you could see he had the problems outside the pitch. So for me, with him, he is still a threat to nations. Okay. But then with Kotoko, I think missing Albert Amwa, I think will have a little bit of bite in their front.
Akomia, there is a change in the lineup for Asante Kotoko. Not just Albert Amwa in there, also in the goalkeeping position. Aziz Dari was imposed against Gold Stars. Kamara is back.
I'm really surprised. Just maybe it's because of rotation. And that is why I think he's putting Kamara in the goalpost. But when you look at the whole lineup, it's all about physicality and control. Lord Hilary Adabo just sitting right in front of the back four. Then you have Hubert Jehu and Walid Nema, who bring a level of technical security on the ball in that particular middle of the park. Definitely, nations will be going into the game with the same approach with the likes of Ivan Safo and Kevin Ampofo alongside Prince Bedu, that I actually feel like he brings in a level of physicality into that particular midfield. He's been consistent. He's been with this team. And I think for Ivan Safo, it has been a disappointing start for him, despite moving from Park Academy to Nations FC.
Of course, and that is what we are looking forward to. But as I said, Dewa 539 Direct has a message for you. They say end your day like a champion with Dewa 539 Direct. Wind down with a win at 7 p.m. With numbers 1 to 39, the odds are stacked in your favor. Multiply your stake with 5 Ghana CD and above by jaw dropping 5,000 with direct 4 and 50,000 on direct 5. When all your numbers match the draw result. Play now and watch your mobile wallet fill up with winnings. All you have to do is just dial *446# or visit dewanla.com to win. And now, big one there. We are about getting started this one because both teams are in the tunnel and ready to come out. It's a big game. It's a big one. It's live on TV3 and on Unia TV. And I hand you over to our team of commentators, Kelvin Owusu-Ansah and Nana Dakwa Jesse.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex here in our Brankese. We're struggling. Nations FC seek redemption against Asante Kotoko in the Ashanti Regional Derby here in our Brankese. This game proudly produced by Adesa Productions Limited and live on TV3. My name is Nana Dakwa Jesse. Together with Kelvin Owusu-Ansah, we are your commentators for this afternoon's fixture. Nations FC are winless in their last 3 Premier League games. They picked up a paltry 4 points from a possible 12 in their opening 4 games of the Premier League. For Kotoko, they've seen some resurgence, winning against Kwara United FC, being blocked at home by Heart of Lions in a goalless drawn game, and coming to win their outstanding Premier League game against BBN Gold Stars by 2-0. Welcome once again to Abrankese. This is the Ghana Premier League Matchday 5 fixture. Nations FC versus Asante Kotoko. Good afternoon, welcome, Kelvin.
That's a big one, and a very big one for the two teams. They cannot allow points to slip away. For Nations FC, losing many points clearly gives them an indication that it's going to be a very tight season. In the last 2 seasons, they've come closer to winning the Ghana Premier League. The season started on a very poor note, dropping points at home to Summertakes. They wouldn't want to repeat that against Asante Kotoko, who seem to be in very good form. Winning against BBN Gold Stars during the midweek actually puts them in confidence and high spirits of getting a better result here.
The Porcupine Warriors suffered 2 defeats at the hands of Nations FC in last season's Premier League, and Abdul Karim Zito wants to change the narrative this season. It's a wet afternoon in Abrankese, although the sun is scorching. The rains came down a while ago, and it just stopped at the right time for the game to kickstart.
Well, down just before, as you can see, Abdul Karim Zito complain about the nature of the pitch. He's just in front of his dugout. He's walked on the playing surface. It doesn't look like he's very much interested in the game starting very soon. But the sun has started coming up, and hopefully the pitch would have that water being less soggy to allow the players to play.
Matchday 5 of the Ghana Premier League. Yesterday, high-flying Mediama Sporting Club recovered from that defeat against Karela to beat Dreams FC by 2-1, nicking the winner at the depth of the game to regain their top spot after 5 matches in the Ghanaian top flight. Asante Kotoko have one outstanding game to clear, and following that game against BBN Gold Stars and that victory, they jumped to the 4th spot of the Premier League with 1 more game to go. That's the poster boy of the club, Danso. He's from a nearby town around Abrankese, and the local folks have turned up here to hand their maximum support to the former Black Starlets player, Richard Danso.
Well, he's one of the brightest sports during his time and had very good foundation at the West Africa Football Academy. Unfortunately, he hasn't blossomed into that talent and player many expected him to be, but under the watch of Kasim Mingolo Kanse, hopefully he would get better.
Nations FC have quite an impeccable home record. They've lost just once in their last 8 home games, winning 6 and drawing just once. But this time has seen them with one of the slowest starts in the campaign since their promotion into the Ghanaian top flight a couple of seasons ago. So finally, players have emerged out of the tunnel. The Porcupine Warriors, traditional red outfits. Nations steps up here at their fortress in white jerseys this afternoon against Asante Kotoko. Big day in Abrankese. Matchday 5 of the Ghana Premier League is Nations FC versus Asante Kotoko.
Many will be looking forward to this battle for the Porcupines. They haven't really had a good love over Nations FC, and even Kasim Mingolo Kansi, they are always a daunting task for them to complete.
Final, any tweaks and changes to the squads that represented the two sides in their most recent games in the GPL. Samba O'Neill once again lead Asante Kotoko into this game, and Nations will be led by Razak Simpson, who still have an eye on the journey to the World Cup. He's been part and parcel of the Black Stars qualifying series in both the World Cup and the AFCON, but failed to make the cut in the last 2 call-ups. Samba O'Neill wins the toss, gets to choose where Kotoko will play from. Nations will get us going. Our referee for today is 17-year-old Angelos Adongo Akurugu. He's assisted by Awasabi Joseph Tai, and then Yakubu Haruna. Kinsport Otenyeboa is our fourth referee for this afternoon's fixture here in our Brankesim. Big task for the 17-year-old Navrongo Senior High School boy.
He should be able to deliver, looking at the confidence that has been reposed in him by the referees, and he should be able to do this with ease.
That's the Nations FC lineup for today. 2 changes for Coach Kasimo Kansimengo, goalkeeper Bariu Kamsin, and there's also a place for Gripman Simpson and Kufo in a back 4. Evan Safu, Kelvin Ampo for Prince Bedu, and Martin Akoglu from that 4-man midfield, with Akoglu playing as a wing back from the right side. Danso, Farouk Mohamed and Emmanuel Ano play in a 3-man attack. This is a typical Kasimo Kansimengo tactics.
Well, clearly, and you can see that Kwame Boache is not playing, but Gripman has taken that position to be his own. In the absence of Chawete Mohamed, would step forward to make sure that the goals and the supplies from Danso and Ano are finished off, but the greatest threat comes from the flanks, where Emmanuel Ano and Richard Danso operate.
For Asante Kotoko, there seems to be some kind of a rotation policy because goalkeeper Aziz Dare is not imposed. Kamara regains his place imposed. Asiedu at the right back, Sambo O'Neill and Ablo combined in central defense. Lord Amwa at the right back, Jehu Walid Name of Husseini. And there's also a place for Hilary Adabo in that 3-man midfield. Amidu Akwa, Morifin Donzo, and Philip Amo completes Asante Kotoko's front 3 for this afternoon's game. The biggest blow for Asante Kotoko as far as their lineup today is concerned is the absence of Albert Amwa, the lethal striker who picked up an injury during Asante Kotoko's midweek game against the BNI Gold Stars at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium.
Well, this puts the burden on Morifin Donto. He would have to deliver, and he hasn't proven in all the opportunities given to him that he's that man Kotoko can rely on to do the magic.
Here we go. Nations gets us going for this afternoon's fixture here in our Brankese. Simpson with a long ball in early in the game, headed back by the captain Samba O'Neill. Here is Jehu. Patrick Asiedu will try to launch one in. Like I said, these guys are going to find it difficult with the ball control because of the nature of the pitch, following the reins a while ago. Here is Danso. First foul of the afternoon, Walid Fuseni committing the foul, bringing down Kelvin Ampofo.
It's got to be quite a battle looking at that midfield. Prince Bedu and Ampofo would have to contend with the trickery of Neymar and Hubert Jehu.
Long ball in by Asiedu, who was trying to get to Donzo. Goalkeeper body already out, and Simpson gets it away. Emmanuel Ano, lovely skill. Martin Akoglu wins the throw-in for Nations FC. Here is Akoglu, tries to send a cross in. Amo does well to arrive and get the ball away. It's the first corner of the afternoon. Nations FC have the advantage after Philip Amo's header went out for the opening corner of the afternoon.
Nations who are trying all their best to be swinging in a lot more of the crosses, knowing that Kamara has a defect when it comes to aerial duels and coming out of his goalkeeper's area to pick some of these balls.
Nations have a corner heading into 2 minutes of this game. Martin Akoglu stands behind it. There's also Richard Danso just a few meters away. Then he gets that ball from Akoglu, who sends it across. Amo heads it down. Nations appeal for a penalty, but the young referee Adongo will have none of that.
I think he was very close to the action. He knew the decision he had made, and he was firm with it, allowing play to continue. But that was intelligent from the 2 former players from Wafa, Kogo and Richard Danso.
That's a foul. Amidu Akwa brought down by the big centre back, Sami Osei Kufuor. One of those trusted guards brought on board by Kasim Mengil following his departure from Bichem United. Free kick Asante Kotoko, Lord Armour to take. Dinks one in, controlled by Walid, headed back by Simpson. That's the strike from Jehu. He scored with the left foot in the Confederations Cup against Kwara. Attempted this one from that distance and missing the post by inches.
That's his weaker foot, but always very much instinctive, not too far away from the goalpost. He could have easily hit the target.
Samba O'Neill, Philip Amo, Walid Fuseni unable to control, and Simpson can't get his man either.
It's going to be very tricky this afternoon, looking at the nature, the condition of the pitch. The least mistake you make, you'll be punished.
Razak Simpson looking for Farouk. Here is Farouk, he's up against Ablo, he goes down, referee says fair challenge. Now here is Philip Amo for Asante Kotoko. Shows too much of the ball to Kelvin Ampofo and concedes a throw-in the process. Farouk tries to cross the ball in. I know it's lurking, but Nation still hold on to possession. Gripman, Ano to Martin Akoglu. Just can't control because the ball just skidded away, following once again the nature of the pitch. Here is Simpson. Hadina Bariu.
But team's not ready to give any opportunities away. It's been a ding-dong affair. It's quite difficult to control the ball. You have to resort to playing long through the channels on the left and on the right-hand side instead of going down the middle.
It's 5 minutes already in our broadcast. Nations nil, Kotoko nil. Kotoko have a throw-in. Patrick Esiedu will step up for it. Goes for the long one. Walid Fuseni goes in there. Jehu, not your tallest of players, but did well to go in for that aerial challenge. Nations have a free kick. Jehu does well to go past Bedu. Osei Kufuor is up against Philip Amo. Amo steals possession from Kufuor. Back to Amo. There's a poor cross from Amo. Here is Prince Bedu looking for Farouk. Brought down by Ablo. Free kick for Nations. Kufuor stands one in. Hilaria double. Amidu Akwa. Good ball to find Morifin Donzo. He stays onside. Here comes Donzo. Looks for support, sends one in. Simpson returns with a header. Akologu traps it down for Gripman. But Jehu fight for it. Goes past his marker. Nations desperately trying to get the ball away, but it's Morifin Donzo to Walid Fuseni. Here is Hilaria double, goes for power, not powerful enough. Aqua can't control and Simpson will get that one away.
That was very good work there from Razak Simpson. Leaving no stone unturned. He's not ready to even control the ball because any mistake with the condition of the pitch, he may commit to howler, just blasting the ball away from danger. But Morfin Donzo had already positioned himself as offside, caught by the assistant referee. He wouldn't have counted if he had shot on target.
Here is Farouk. He's got an impressive hold-up play. Not only good in the goals, but his ability to bring on board other attackers when he's in his elements. Gripman to take the throw for Nations. Picks up Ano. Referee whistles. Kotoko have the advantage.
Quite surprising that Asante Kotoko chose Kamara for today after Aziz Dari took over in the last 2 games, keeping their goalkeeper sharper.
Here's Walid Fuseni for Kotoko. Now Jehu, big clearance from Sami Kufuor. Ablo heads the ball down. Adabo controls it for Lord Amor on the right side. Tries to pick out Amor. It doesn't end up with Amor. It's Danso who takes the initiative for Nations. That's a nasty tackle from Jehu. Very, very unnecessary challenge from Jehu. He'll be lucky not to get a card, you bet, Jehu. He's come up with some brilliant performances for Kotoko in the last couple of games, assisting Albert Amwa in that 2-0 win over Bibiani Gold Stars. He needs to keep his head up.
His temperament seems to be the only negative side of his game, and that was a very poor tackle. The referee has just granted him the utmost leniency he can ever give to any player for that tackle.
Free kick for Nations FC, and they've got a dead ball specialist behind it. He decides to leave it, Razak Simpson. Evan Safo, Ben Swanning, there's a flick on it, and Nations denied by the side post. They still have a chance, but no, referee's whistle had already gone, so this won't count. But Nations, very unlucky, denied by the side post. That could have been the opening goal for Nations FC. Lucky Asante Kotoko.
That was a brilliant free kick, whipping well by Evan Safo. But there seemed to be that tackle from Farouk Mohammed on Ablo in the goal-mouth melee. The referee was very right there to whistle for a foul. That is a clear warning to Asante Kotoko. The set pieces are going to be their bane.
10 minutes in our Brankese. Nations nil, Kotoko nil. Nations coming so close in the last minute. Another foul for Nations. Safo is a player who has gone down, and he immediately need an assessment from the medical team who are already on the pitch to take care of Safo.
I think the referee seems to be handing, some pardon to the players, giving them the warning. Just realized the pitch is very slippery, giving them an opportunity. But that was a very nasty tackle there from Hilary Adabo. He needs to be careful. It will be painful to lose Evan Safo very early in this game. He's been the brilliant spot in midfield for Nations.
Safo joined Nations FC at the start of the season from offensive base first division side Park Academy, and he's just warmed himself into Kasimo Okansi's main goal setup. He likes to deploy through in the midfield, likes to operate with wing backs, and he's a fan of a 3-man up front.
It's quite unfortunate that he's missing one man who makes that 3-man take so well. Faisal Chawiti.
Kotoko force ball in. Ano will struggle for it. Adabu shows great strength. He's fouled, and referee Adongo is spot on with the decision.
Very workaholic midfielder. He hasn't looked back ever since he joined Samatex.
Akoglo. Kasiedu brings it down. Here's Patrick Kasiedu from the pass of Adabo. He's trying to pick out Walid Fuseni. That's the tackle from Gripman. Typical of him.
Very strong tackle there. Make sure he won the ball and not the man, but pulling his man away from causing any threat.
Asiedu warms up for the throw. Goes long. Flicked on by Walid Fuseni. Martin Akoglo sends one in, returned by Samba. Safu shows great desire, but it's Samba again who steps in the way of Emmanuel Ano.
Samba O'Neil has quite been a player for Asante Kotoko. Already cementing his place as one of the untouchables and giving his best every single game. He's truly a leader of the Warriors.
Samba O'Neil goes long, but to no red shirt. Dabo. Here's Ano. Giving no breathing space, but he goes past Samba O'Neil. Good tackle from Walid Fuseni. When he decides to play, he's almost unplayable, Emmanuel Ano. The biggest threat for Nations this afternoon.
He swift his cannon, and he's very intelligent. You leave him unmarked at your own peril.
Raymond Oko Gripman, former Great Olympics defender, who allowed his captain, Razak Simpson, to take up the duties from this free kick. Simpson to take the free kick. Wants to launch one into the Kotoko 18-yard box, and it's going straight in there, headed by Samba O'Neil. Here is Martin Akoglu up against Patrick Kasiedu. Cleverly gets the decision in his favor. Corner for Nations.
Very good and intelligent play there from Akogo. He knew he had to just stretch wide and deliver one into the penalty area. Patrick Kasiedu was right there to stop that ball. From danger, Kotoko would have a lot to deal with from all these deliveries into their penalty area.
Corner for Nations. We are 15 minutes into this game here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex in Abra Nkesse, match day 5 of the Ghana Premier League. Nations nil, Kotoko nil. Martin Akoglu steps in with a corner, heads go up. Walid Fuseni for Asante Kotoko. Here it comes Morifin Donzo. He looks for Hubert Joe. He's up against Safu. Goalkeeper Barry. Great anticipation to come out and clear the ball from danger.
That was clever there from Asante Kotoko. A long ball there from Morifin Donzo, trying to find Jau. But you can trust a very good goalkeeper. He came out to sweep it coolly and avert the danger.
Lord Amor. Philip Amor has lost possession. Done so. Kicks one in. And Ablo miscommunicated with Samba O'Neil. Evan Safo brought down in the middle of the park by Walid Fuseni. Here comes Martin Akoglu for Nations. That cross is not good enough from Martin Akoglu, cleared acrobatically by Samba O'Neil. Here is Morifin Donzo, headed back by Simpson. His anticipation is awesome, Razak Simpson.
Clever, very intelligent. He's calm on the ball. You can see the reason why he's captain at Great Olympics had Gripman also as a captain, so it's great to have two leaders in your back line.
Simpson, in particular, will be hoping to put up some decent performances to catch the eye of the Black Stars coaches once again with the World Cup qualification just a game away.
definitely sure of that. Should he continue putting up such splendid performances, he's going to walk back into the team.
That's the earlier tackle on Safo by Philip Amo. He's been a total team player since joining from the lower tier. Safo, he's fitted into that role that was previously occupied by Sadiq Al-Hassan during last season's campaign. He's fitted in so well. Here he steps up for the free kick. Safo swings one in. Emmanuel Ano, Oseko for Samba O'Neill gets it away. Donzo chase down for the ball. Here's Gripman who arrives first. Pushed down by Donzo. He knew what he was looking for.
Exactly, and that was very unintelligent from Morifin Donzo. The defender just set the trap and he easily got into it. Oko knew exactly the bait he was setting for Donzo, and he clearly caught his fish with ease.
Donzo fell for it, but Kotoko will regain the advantage. Is a throw-in for Asante Kotoko. Esiedu goes long again. Gripman heads it down. Only as far as Amwa, Kodami. Now Jehu has got space, he shoots, and Gripman does well to get the ball away, but it's not out of total danger. Referee's whistle go. Donzo.
Positioning.
Because there was no foul in there from the replay we just saw. Hubert Jehu. Lovely play from Kotoko, but Jehu gives away possession. Safo, Bedu, beautiful skill. So they're showing Kotoko, if you can do it, we can do it much better. Here's Walid Fuseni. Amo, Jehu to Lord Amoa. He's got Danso confronting for the ball. Good work by Danso to get the ball away from Amoa. Farouk goes down and he disagrees with the call of referee Adongo, with Kotoko gaining the advantage from this foul.
It's going to be a very physical battle between himself and Joseph Ablo. Should he cower into any challenge, he would find himself on the wrong side of the referee's whistle.
Oseko 4 under pressure from Philip Amo. Tries to take the safety first approach, throwing Kotoko. Lord Amo's throw. Oseko 4 is first in the air. Back to Amoa. Here's Amo up against Kofor. He gives it away. Safo can't get to Farouk. Again, it's Farouk and Ablo. This time, Nations will get the advantage. Audacious and purposeless as well from Evan Safo.
Quite surprising they decided to take that option. Ano was just driving on the right-hand side. Should have waited a bit to make a prudent decision, but given away easily.
Nations FC are 12 on the league table with 4 points from a possible 12. 1 win, 1 draw, and 2 defeats. They are yet to win in their last 3 games. Coming into this game from last week's 2-1 defeat against Mediama, the TNA. Again, Mediama had to dig deep to score a late winner to the Nine Nations FC a point after they are dominated in greater spells of that game.
It wasn't quite an interesting draw on match day 3 for them here against Samatex. They played their hearts out but couldn't finish off the opportunities. Last weekend was quite A disappointing loss to Medium SC. The final minute of the game, that header.
Aqua to Donzo, chance for Kotoko. Donzo shoots and Bariu gets it away. Here is Amo to Jehu. Wants to take 2 more steps in there. Jehu with a cutback, but it goes straight to goalkeeper Hadina Bariu.
Instinctive from a striker, first chance there. Very clever pass from Peter Midu. He set Donzo right, he shot it low, but the goalkeeper had to parry it. Not the very best of saves he would have wanted, but once it got back to Jehu, he could have taken the first option instead of trying to control the ball and taking another touch.
Sappho tries to find Danso. He's up for it. Lord Amwa arrives first and clears the ball away from Danso. Danso was almost the star boy of that 2007 and the 2017 Black Starless team coached by Pakwesi Fabin that included the likes of Kind Black Stars poster boy, Mohamed Kudus, the likes of Danlad Ibrahim, Imano Toku, Eya, and the likes.
That was a team that had lots of talent, budding talent. Fortunately, lots of them couldn't blossom into the players you would have expected them to be. But Pakwesi Fabian has given a taste of trying to revive the careers of a couple of them. Currently, Aminu, who is with Bichim United, had to go under his watch and trying to pick up the pieces. Danso has also been under his watch in a couple of times.
Here comes Kotoko's Amo, but it's a decent tackle from Mosaiko for the Kotoko fans appeal for a penalty. Not too sure about that.
That was a very intelligent ball there from Jehu. Quick 1-2 with Amo, but Osaiko knew exactly what he wanted to do. Got to the ball first. Safety first, he cleared off that danger.
25 minutes in Abrankese. Nations nil, Kotoko nil. Kotoko have a corner. And it's Patrick Asiedu, the left back, to take it for the Porcupines. Former Brecum Chelsea left back lines up for it. He goes to the far post, nearly scored from a direct corner. Patrick Asiedu, that was tricky.
Could clearly see he wanted to go for goal. He knew exactly what he was doing, whipped it with lots of pace and power. But clever goalkeeping from Hadina Bariu. He rose from Nations FC's youth ranks and is taking over today's game with such confidence and brilliance.
Debut Premier League game for the youngster, and it doesn't come easily against the Porcupines. Kotoko's corner. Walid Fuseni is trying to improvise with a piece of skill to go past his marker, but tried unsuccessfully.
Very good work there from Danso. In as much as he hasn't given so much up front, defensively, he's put a great shift so far.
Asiedu. Farouk was trying to get to Ano, but Asiedu cleared the one away. Referee's asking Gripman to go a few meters back before effecting that throw. He stole a few steps forward. Imano Ano. That's unacceptable from Walid Fuseni.
You can understand why the center referee is calling them to speak to. Adongo will not take any unsporting behavior from any player on the pitch, and he's clearly indicated that to them. Keep your cool, let's play football.
Walid Fuseni's last visit to this venue was when he was in the colours for Nswanshaman, and he left the stadium with 3 goals at the back of the net of Nswanshaman. He knows how powerful nations can be here in Abrankese. Sapo's delivery Away by Samba. Anos tries the overhead kick. He doesn't get a ball, but here comes Danso, takes away possession from Amo. Amo does well to get it back, and Amo will get it away.
You cannot take chances there, and you can see the fans very much poised. Nations FC, they know that there's a venue very much dreaded. You can't just walk away with a point. Already losing some 2 points against Samatex here. They wouldn't want to drop any. They were quite resilient and resolute last season until Become Chelsea and then Heart of Lions burst their bubble.
Walid Fuseni goes down, no foul, but Adongo's whistle came a bit late.
So quite, a cheap fall there. He realized he has lost control of the ball. But once you stretch out your arm, you give the referee no other option, whether soft or hard push. You give the referee no option than to whistle for an advantage to your opponent.
Free kick for Asante Kotoko. We're approaching 30 minutes here in Abraham Kesse. No goals to talk about yet. There's a double. Samba O'Neill and Patrick Esiedu all behind this free kick. It will be Esiedu to go for power. He drives one and is straight to the nation's shot stopper, Adina Bariu.
It was always going to come from this routine. Brilliant from the goalkeeper. He hasn't panicked a single bit in this game. And he just picked that one with ease. It was on target, but it couldn't stretch and test the goalkeeper enough.
Safo. Danso not getting the kind of supplies that he would wish for. He's not really been at his best on the left-hand side.
It's quite interesting. The Safo hasn't been going for the simple passing, but looking for something outrageous and intent, given a couple of balls away. He's the man supposed to pull the strings together and link up play between the midfield and the attack. He can't be given such balls away.
Ablos delivery. Headed by Prince Bedu. Here comes Amidou Aqua. Long one and looking for Amo. Sami Kufo won't take any chances. It's a goal kick.
What was Philip Amo expecting? There was no way he was going to go through Psycho 4 like paper. Very solid rock, very strong. And he read that ball and knew exactly what to do to prevent Amo from getting anything on that.
Lord Amwa to take the throw-in. He decides to go all the way back to Kamara, who sends a long one in. Neymar bitten in the air by Bedu. Here comes Martin Akoglu. Switches to Evan Safo. He's got Gripman calling for it. Gripman's ball doesn't go far, but he does well to get it a feather away this time. Here is Farouk, but the final touch has gone out for a throw-in.
Clearly, that wasn't the cleanest of passes. Decision-making hasn't been great for Nations FC. Right from their defense to the midfield and to the attack. They need to be doing better as the game continues to wear out.
Asiedu once again steps up to take the throw-in for the Porcupines. Here Joe. Amo. Paulson loses possession. Danso picks out Emmanuel Ano. It's a one-on-one against Ablo. He goes past Ablo. Lovely skill from Ano, but you want to give credit to Ablo. He did well to recover possession for Asante Kotoko after the dozen skills from Ano nearly took him down.
He took his time, he read the situation. He did not dive into any tackle, early knowing that Ano would just wiggle and turn and twist.
Danso has lost possession. Seiko 4 joins the attack. Here is Nations. Emmanuel Ano wins the corner for Nations FC.
He started being a very intelligent player, moving away from the right-hand side to the left-hand side, causing lots of problems for the Asante Kotoko defense. The least route he has, he's definitely going to cause havoc. But that was very good recovery there from Walid Fuseni to block that ball for a corner.
Nations corner. Same routine. Martin Akoglu goes for the near post, away by Donzo. Now Sapo will kill one in and it's straight to Kamara. Kamara with a long throw looking for Amidu Akwa, but Prince Bedu steps up. Nsedu will pick it up and he's spotting the movement of Donzo and Amo. It is meant for Philip Amo on the right side. He's got so much space. Kills one into the box. Walid Fuseni sets up Jehu. Jehu on the left foot is straight to Adina Bariu again.
He cannot be hitting these balls from a goalkeeper who's already proven his shot-stopping ability. That was an effort that lacked any venom and precision. Jehu should be doing better.
35 minutes in Abran Kese. Nations nil, Kotoko nil.
It's been quite an interesting game, not far off the quality you'd have expected. And looking at the nature of the pitch, they've actually served some good football. So far, the only thing lacking is goals.
Last season, Nations got 2-0 victories over Kotoko in the 2 games of the Premier League. Ano scored, Nafiu Sulemana scored, Chawete scored against them, and Nafiu actually scored twice in those 2 games. Asiedu with a power, and it's gone right over the bar.
It was always going to rise, not with the best of technique. More like the tip of his foot used to hit that ball instead of the laces. And clearly, as you can see, just went to drive it like he was playing a goal kick. Way off target, free kick wasted.
Asiedu these days has got competition from Francis Akwa and Joseph Amoa. Amoa actually started a couple of games ahead of him, but here is Donzo who goes past the nation's captain. He sets up Jehu, chance for Kotoko, Razak Simpson. He knows where to be at what time. Walid Fuseni. Amidu Akwa can't go past Martin Akoglu. Martin wins the possession but gives away the ball to Kotoko again.
That was very intelligent there from Akogo, but earlier Razak Simpson knew exactly what he had done, had to quickly recover, and he stopped that space, covered that space that was left for Joe to try hit the ball. Kotoko trying to find all avenues to look and unlock the loopholes in the nation's defense, but whenever they try, they firm up their grip.
Adabu's ball in. That's good reaction from the nation's goalkeeper. In the process, collided with Asante Kotoko's Philip Amo, who was lurking around waiting for that pass to get to him and accidentally bumped into the nation's goalkeeper, who has come up worse after that contact.
That was a very intelligent whip there from Adabo. He's not one of the players you can trust to be delivering some of these passes, but that was quite dangerous. But any goalkeeper, knowing his worth, would come out to save it, and Hadina knew that was within his territory, the goalkeeper's area, and came to the edge to pick it up with ease. It's a good time for the two sets of teams to find some refreshment. It's been an end-to-end battle, lots of running. They've slipped several times, and they need to refuel for the next couple of minutes remaining in the first half.
A while ago, on your screen, Kotoko management members, Chairman Nana Prinkra, together with Legal Counsel and Communications Director Safu Duku, in the VIP stands observing as Kotoko aim for back-to-back wins, back-to-back away wins, and that'll be for the first time since 2024. Here is Danso, long one, but headed down by Amoa. Aqua is looking for Donzo. He gets to Donzo, and Gripman goes in with a tackle that eventually wins Nation's possession. Here is Safo to Ano, being tracked down by Esiedu. Esiedu slides into Ano, and referee thinks that was too wild from Esiedu. Ano will get the foul for that. Esiedu is not happy, but that was overly aggressive from the Kotoko left back.
Well, it was overly aggressive, and as you can see, looked more like a tape-off. Slid into that tackle, making sure that Ano had no avenue to progress the ball.
He knows the quality Ano brings. If you don't stop him, he's causing havoc. He's scored twice already in this season's Premier League.
Doesn't look too good for Philip Amo. Just right there, he's struggling to get back onto the pitch, clutching onto his knee.
Kotoko have set Kojose, Emmanuel Enchi, Adam Inusa, and even Joseph Amwa, who cannot slot into that role currently being occupied by Philip Amo. In the meantime, there's Martin Akoglo to take the free kick on 40 minutes. Martin Akoglo swings one to the near post and is headed away by Hilary Adabo.
You could see the reaction from Martin. That wasn't how you wanted the whip. Just when it went off his feet, he exactly knew that he had wasted the set piece, but Adabo couldn't take chances, headed it right back into the opposite direction.
Gripman with a throw, flicked on by Martin Akoglu. Asiedu is fighting to gain possession. Walid Fuseni does well to win possession for Kotoko, but Akoglu, the nation's wing-back, stays down. Prince Bedu, Evan Safo, but referee Adongo has whistled for play to be halted since Martin Akoglu would need some attention from the medical team of Nations FC after going down a while ago.
We think that he came off worse from that challenge. Looked like a trailing arm there from Patrick Esiedu hit him in the face. Had an option there, and you can see nobody knew exactly what had happened, but that seemed to be a legitimate tackle. But you can also give credit to Prince Bedu. He's done some very pretty good covering anytime Gripman and Simpson are not in their positions.
Simpson is aiming at Danso. Ano is equally interested, and Danso fouled by Philip Amo. Free kick, Nations. They've been the slightly better side in the opening 42 minutes. Nations FC coming so close when they got denied by the side post. Evan Safo will take the free kick for Nations. He swings one into the Kotoko box. Simpson can direct his header well. Adabo clears it, but he doesn't get out of Kotoko's area. He does well to find Amo. Amo is trying to pick out Aqua, but Bedu will step up. It's a lovely ball from Safo looking for Ano. Ano again with Patrick Esiedu. He gets possession from Ano. Walid Fuseni to Aqua. He's up against Prince Bedu. Aqua has got the pace and skill Let's see what he does. Aqua turns around Bedu. Good movement from Aqua. Now here is Jehu. Tries to pick out Amo, but they've given the ball away to Nations. Here is Danso. He turns the heat on Kotoko. Safo. Ano. There's a foul against Kotoko's captain, Samba O'Neill.
You can clearly see he got the man. He went in trying to whip that ball away, but Ano was swift. Got attacked to the ball before Samba O'Neill could add anything on it.
Obviously the danger man and the man to watch, Ano. 19 games last season. He scored 6 goals and he's already on 2 goals this season. Scored a late winner against All Blacks in the opening game this season. The Kotoko captain, Samba O'Neill, first player to be yellow carded in this afternoon's game.
That was a rash challenge there. Once you fail to get the ball, he just clattered into his man. It was more like a butchering. And right before Adongo, he was not going to spare this.
Samba O'Neill, 61 appearances for Kotoko so far. This is his 62nd game for the Porcupine Warriors. Joined from Rahimo in Burkina Faso. Handed the captain's band at the start of the season, and he's been amazing for them.
He's been very much trusted, less injuries, dependable. Also a utility player who can slot into midfield. It's the reason why the fans love him. For a player to be captain, less than 2 seasons in a team, tells you the kind of quality he possesses.
It's 45 minutes already in our Branqueses, Kotoko and Nations drawing ahead of the break. Kamara launches one in. Donzo to Amo. Was trying to shoot from that distance, but he was pecked back by that tackle. And Kotoko gets the free kick.
For the first time in the game, Prince Bedu gets his decision wrong. He just went into the foot of Amo, who waited and invited the tackle for himself. Good position for Asante Kotoko, and it's quite direct.
4 additional minutes. We're already into the last 45, and Kotoko have a free kick. They've tried a couple of times, but they've not been successful. Either the ball is flying away or goalkeeper Bariu is rising to the occasion. It is Samba and Esiedu. Esiedu is a terrible one from Esiedu. Very poor from the left back.
And it's quite unfortunate for him. You can clearly see he wanted to go in with lots of fire, but that ball was always rising. He hasn't had the best of techniques to hit the ball. And Nations would clap for that any moment, every time, if you decide to waste very good free kicks in very good positions like that.
Walid Fuseni, Hubert Jehu. That's a foul. Good decision from the referee because Kotoko had the advantage, but there was no player stepping up for it when Jehu went past his marker, and referee will not hesitate. Second yellow card of the afternoon, and it goes to Kelvin Ampofo. Pulled him back and tripped him from behind again.
Ampofo knew exactly what he was doing. He had to just pull his man down. But I think that was an unfortunate decision he had to make. There were other players joining into the fray to try and close down Jehu in that moment.
It's Patrick Esiedu again, this time. Surround the center circle. And Esiedu swings one in, and Samba O'Neill unable to make the needed contact as a goal kick. Did want to step up into that area, but unfortunately, he just couldn't make that contact, Samba O'Neill.
The best decision and the best whip he's had in all the free kicks he played. Samba O'Neill lacking at far post. He just missed the ball by a whisker. I think Nations should just be a bit watchful. At far post, you can't believe an opponent free, especially a tall figure like Samba O'Neill.
We're into the final minutes of stoppage time in our Brankese. Foul for Nations.
A block came second best to that challenge. There was no way he was going to win the ball. He had to go in with too much aggression and ended up committing a foul.
Ivan Safo has stepped up for it, but I get the feeling Razak Simpson will fancy a power drive from here. He's got what it takes to deliver, but Safo is indicating he wants to go for a killer. A power drive or a killer. Safo for Simpson, goes past Jehu, drives one, but it rises over the bar for a goal kick.
Not too far, clever and intelligent from the two, but that rush and press from the Kotoko human wall made sure that Simpson wasn't going to have the best of balance and the right technique to whip the ball. Just had to go for it, but it went far off, and Kotoko can have a breather.
This might just certainly be the final kick of the first half, and that's it. Referee Angelos Adongo Akurugu whistles for the end of the first half here in Abrankese at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. And an Ashanti Regional Derby here has ended goalless in the first half, both teams exhibiting quality and some impressive football. Nations FC denied by the side post. Kotoko coming close on a few occasions, but it's been an interesting game over the 45 minutes plus stoppage time. It's half time at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex in Abrankese. Nations FC 0, Kotoko 0.
The first 45 minutes has ended here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. It is goalless between Nations FC and Asante Kotoko, and we're hoping that the second half will be kind to give us some good goals here. I'm here with the assistant coach of Asante Kotoko, Coach Prince Owusu. Coach, despite the fact that the pitch has made it very difficult for you to play, are you pleased with what you've seen from your team?
Yes, I think the boys are putting a very good fight. They're not giving up. They're pushing way forward as well. Not that they're sitting back to play defense. No, they're going offensive as well. So it looks very good.
What should change in the second half for you to get 3 points here?
Yeah, we just need a chance to just bang the ball in the net. When we got chance to play, I think we'll do it.
Thanks very much, and we wish you all the best for the second half. That is Coach Prince Owusu, the assistant coach of Asante Kotoko. Now, I've been joined by a man who is familiar in this region, Coach Johnson Smith. Coach, first 45 minutes, goalless. Have you been pleased with what you've seen from the Nation boys?
Really. So, as we are going to prepare.
Do you think the soggy nature of the pitch has really affected both teams?
Really, it's true, because that's affected that, like, the game will be nice game.
But going into the second 45 minutes, what should change from your team for you to carry the day?
Now we know the pitch and we know how they play, and so we are going to the drawing board and do a correction.
Well, Coach, you can go back to the dressing room and do the halftime team talk. It is a goalless here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Big game between Nations FC and Asante Kotoko. There's more to discuss, and I'm still here with Coach Frimpong Manso and Michael Akomia. We take a quick breather. When we return, we go into the first half. League that matters, that is the Ghana Premier League. Match day 5, that is what we are doing here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. First 45 minutes has ended between Nations FC and Asante Kotoko. Goalless at the break. Both teams have them puffed, but no goals to record here. It's been an interesting one. My name is Mutale Yakubu, and this is Adisa Production Limited's continuous coverage of the 2025-2026 Ghana Premier League. We've been joined by a man who has won the Ghana Premier League before, Coach Johnson Smith. Coach Frimpong Manso. I spoke to Johnson Smith just a few minutes ago. That is why Kumasi-based sports journalist Michael Akomia is also here. First 45 minutes, the pitch has made it extremely difficult for both teams to play, but we've been served with some good football. Akomia.
Yes, Mutala, I think both sides have shown respect, perhaps maybe too much. The midfield looks congested, and I think creativity has not actually come in this particular half. This is due to the state of the pitch. But you look at Nations FC, they are targeting Ano, trying to play through him in 1v1 situations. And let me commend Patrick Essiedu, who has been superb in the first half with how he has handled Emmanuel Ano in this particular half. Looking at Nations FC, they've been really compact at the back line. Osei Kofo and Razak Simpson, not giving any chance to a player like Donzo, who is not really that strong, but definitely very swift in terms of running into spaces. He has gotten into some key positions in this particular first half, but unfortunately, he has not been able to connect these balls to get Kumasi Asante Kotoko the lead.
Coach, I mean, Nations have been slightly better than Kotoko in terms of the chance creation. They came closest to scoring as they rattled the woodwork. But would you say that the nature of the pitch has actually disrupted their play? Because they seem to be going long, trying to find an and Kotoko defenders, Ablo and Ongba, have been comfortable with that.
Yeah, both sides are using the long balls because the pitch is making it difficult for them to build from the back. You could see we haven't even had on 2 or 3 occasions where a team will start building from the back. No, because of the nature of they will have to go long, and then they will look for the second balls. So those second balls are what seems to be creating some half chances. But apart from that, it's making it difficult for the technical players like Neymar. Like they cannot express themselves because they are used to holding the ball. You see, and Ano, even on the other side, is also finding it difficult to also hold on to the ball.
Akamia, and what coach is saying, it seems to have affected Kotoko more because Walid Fuseni Neymar is almost like the creative force for this Asante Kotoko side, and the ball cannot be kept on the turf.
Yes, definitely. If you look at Walid and Hubejo, the ball should be moving quicker. The ball should be moving faster, but definitely because of the nature of the pitch, it's not moving faster. If you have to go long, that means your number 9 should be able to hold a play or connect with that particular area duel and make sure that you get onto the second balls. The same thing is happening with Nations FC, which I actually feel if you have a player like Samuel Tete, Farouk has not been so much involved in this game. If you have someone like Samuel Tete, get onto the area duels, fight for it, get the second balls, and I think you have Ano in key positions that can pick up the loose balls and get the goals for you.
Coach, if you usually find yourself in situations like this, how is the halftime team talk like? What do you tell the boys?
Well, it's like now we will always have to make sure we win the area balls because if you lose those balls, you'll find it very difficult to continue play or try to create chances. And you can see, as you can see, both sides, like you said, they are all having problems with that. And apart from that, the only way they can also move up is from the set piece. Because that is the only way you can create chances or you can score, because there is closer to the goal area, and then also one flick can also create a chance. And I think we've seen 1 or 2 of such games. So for me, I think they will have to also look for the long balls. They have to be very careful with them.
Of course, the second half will be starting pretty shortly here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Nations drawing goalless against Asante Kotoko. Remember, Kotoko have never beaten Nations FC in the Ghana Premier League. 4 games between them, 3 wins for Nations and 1 draw for Asante Kotoko. I was looking at Coach Karim Zito throwing on a wild card like Emmanuel Entry because of the set-piece technique that he has. Because it looks like if any team is going to break the deadlock, it could come from the set piece. Would you throw caution to the wind and bring him on?
I think for the first half, you wouldn't consider the personnel to be a problem. It's all about executing the system, which we all believe that the pitch is playing a part in it. So you need to maintain your composure. You need to maintain your key players in terms of possession. I don't think Hilary Adabo has actually been bad. Patrick Esiedu has gotten some good deliveries. We look at one particular corner kick that was saved by the goalkeeper of Nations FC. You could see he was really dangerous, got into dangerous positions. So I think with Emmanuel Entry, maybe from the 70th minute, 75th minute, he could come in, going for the long balls too, especially. He's going to be a target man that Kotoko will have to pick the loose balls from his end after an area draw.
Coach, for those of us who have not been in your position before, we often say that if it's not broken, you don't fix it. Asante Kotoko are getting a draw, which would be a positive result leading to their weekend's game in the CAF Confederation Cup. Would you say they should change the tactics or personnel?
No, it's too early to do that. Now they will still have to go with their normal play, their normal system of play, because they still have 45 minutes, which can change any situation. So for me, you don't think about changing at the moment, although you have the next 15 minutes to also make sure you can change the whole thing, or you have to keep the whole the same thing.
Now, Komia, one thing is certain: the home side will try to throw everything they have at Kotoko. Is that where the Porcupines can pounce? Because definitely there will be a bit of vulnerability at the back.
It's all about what you do in the phases of play. For the phase one, in terms of defending, I think Sambo no, he has been decent, but unfortunately he's leaving the first half with a yellow card. You look at Ablo, he has been a rock at the back. The same thing is happening with Oseko Fo and Razak Simpson at the back line. But the problem lies with the third phase. For the second phase, it's no problem. The midfielders are aggressive. I think they've had a little bit of control, but the attacking third, that is where these teams are struggling to combine passes, and you could see more automatisms. But Mutala, in all, I think nations, there will be a lot of pressure on them. You've gone 4 games without a win. The last time it happened in 2023-2024, they drew 2-2 with Kotoko. Today, they are also on their way to draw against Kotoko again. They will throw in more men. They will take the risk. It's about high risk, high reward. But for Kotoko, they will be relaxed because this is an away game, no pressure on them. Definitely 1 point away from here. They'll be fine.
Coach, is this where a coach risks it all and say that I am the home side, so let me go for the 3 points at all costs. Let me throw more men forward.
For some games, you think about that.
But this is not one of those games.
But here is a case. They've gone 4 games without a win. So it's one of those games you can still rest for it. So for me, the next maybe 5-10 minutes, if they start to effect their changes, I wouldn't be surprised. But the game, I think, for me, is going. It can go anyway. As from now, it can go anyway, and it might come. Maybe whoever takes their set pieces well can have the day.
Okay, so the second half is about to start. The Asante Kotoko players are coming out of the tunnel. It's goalless at the moment between Nations FC and Asante Kotoko. We are hoping that the second half will be kind to us and give us some goals. You're watching Ghana Premier League on TV3 and on Nia TV. I hand you over to our team of commentators, Calvin Osuansa and Nana Dakwachis.
Hi, welcome back for second half commentary for this match day 5 Ghana Premier League top lineup between Asante Kotoko and Nations FC here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex in Abrankese. The first half saw a very interesting exchanges between the two, with Nations FC slightly the better of the two sides, coming close by striking the side post in the first half. Back from recess, these two teams will be going at each other in search of the maximum points. And for Asante Kotoko, they have not beaten Nations FC in the Premier League since the gained promotion, and they'll be hoping to break that jinx here in Abrankese.
It's a Herculean task for the Porcupines, and Nations have done excellently well every single season, making sure that this stadium becomes a fortress for them. The Porcupines have to really play above themselves and give out more than 100% should they want to carry all 3 points from this venue.
The Porcupine faithfuls charged up, very positive about what's going to happen in the next 45 minutes. They remain upbeat about their chances. Asante Kotoko drew against Hearts of Lions last Sunday, a disappointing result for them, but they bounced back during the midweek to pick up maximum points against the reigning champions, BBN Gold Stars. And after 45 minutes in Abrankese, they are aiming to make it back-to-back wins in the season's Premier League.
And they are looking for that quest to win the Ghana Premier League. But Nations FC also want to bounce back in a grand style. They've come close to winning the championship several times. And this is the season they think that the experience must count in Ghana's top flight.
Asante Kotoko will get us going for second half action here in Abrankese. It took Nations FC so much effort to rise to where they did last season. And as Asante Kotoko, who gets us going for second half action, done so with an early clearance for Nations. Farouk, here is Safo racing forward. He's got Walid Husseini tracking him. First throwing of the second half to Nations.
It's going to be quite a ding-dong battle in the second half, knowing what the first half posed the slippery nature of the pitch and identifying the weaknesses in each other's teams, the second half should be explosive.
Samuel Osei-Kuffour, the former Bechem United centre-back, goes in for the throw-in. Farouk, chance for Nations. That's a foul on Patrick Essiedu. Ivan Safo, the culprit.
Safo knew exactly what he wanted to do. He couldn't allow Essiedu to quickly roll that ball for Asante Kotoko to burst into attack. That's a mark of a very good midfielder. If you're not adding anything offensive, you must make sure defensively you kept the threats of opponents.
Mohamed Kamara's ball in. A double, miscued header. Walid Husseini. Was trying to stop the ball from going outside the box, but referee had his eyes right there.
That was intelligent play there, quick passing between himself and the double, but couldn't quickly pick up the return ball.
Farouk. A double does well to recover possession and find Kamara. It's Simpson against Donzo. Simpson gets to the ball first. Aqua late for that ball, but the nation's keeper Hadina Bari wasn't taking any chances there.
He's been top for Nations Football Club. Goalkeeping at his best. He knows when to come out, when to position himself, when to make the save. And he's clearly been a very good final line of defense for Nations.
Nations have been lucky with some decent goalkeepers in recent times. Kofi Mensah paid his dues until Sanon Raban took the #1 position, and in his absence, the young chap is showing some quality. Here is Prince Bedu, Evan Safo, Martin Okoglu back to Safo. He's got Jehu to confront, and Gripman will send a long one in, headed by a double. It's a decent effort from a distance from Bedu. Osei-Kuffour gets the ball ahead of Aqua. There's a push on Emmanuel Ano by Joseph Ablo. Ablo is already on 2 yellow cards this season. He got a yellow card in that game against Brecum Chelsea at the Golden City Park. Picked up a yellow in that game against Hearts of Lions as well, Joseph Ablo.
He's walking a very thin line, getting closer to suspension. He needs to be very much careful, but he can also take chances. He just went right there into the calf of Ano.
Ano scored against Kotoko last season, so they are very mindful of the threats he brings into this game. Simpson's ball is straight to Kamara. Kamara made contact with Osei-Kuffour, and the centre-back has come off worse. Kamara, in an attempt to grab that ball, collided with Kuffour, who has gone down and is still complaining of pains.
Yeah. I think that was bold goalkeeping there from Kamara Kuffour. You can see the pain seems to be coming from his knee. Not a position you'd want to see a player get injured there. Quite unfortunate. But with such a huge frame in Kamara, he wouldn't allow you to get that ball past him.
young nations. So they have turned up here to support their big brothers.
That's the fever of the Ghana Premier League, making sure that the young will be rolled right into the fever at this early age. Sekufo walking gingerly off the pitch. He seems to be okay and can possibly continue the game. Going to be quite interesting. You're looking at Asante Kotoko will be playing in Africa. They couldn't ask for a better test than this.
The more reason they decided not to bring on board Albert Armour to this game is for precautionary measures. They don't want to risk him ahead of that game against WAC. Here comes Armour. Was trying to squeeze one to Walid Husseini, but Nations will take possession and not stopped by Jehu. Such a workaholic Jehu. Now Asiedu. Not a good ball from the left back is Akoglu trying to find Farouk. Asiedu did well to track back and get the ball away from the advancing Farouk. We're 6 minutes into second half action. No goals yet in Abrankese. Farouk. Kelvin Ampofo. Here is Danso. Nations. Ablo. Had to be resolute and deny Farouk that passage just around the 16-yard box.
That was very clever there from Akoko. Knew he was very tied up on the extreme right-hand side of that attack. Laid that pass to Ampofo. But Ablo had to do his best to push it for a corner kick.
Corner for Nations. Evan Safo, the new boy to take. Whips one. Kamara comes out for it. Referee at the assistant referee at the flag up. Kamara seems to have been impeded in the process, and so it will be Kotoko's advantage now.
That was a very good free kick right inside the goalkeeper's territory. But Kamara came out tops with enough power in his arm and in his fist to punch it away, but he had already been impeded. The referee, the assistant referee, had to raise the flag for foul.
Simpson's clearance. Headed back by Armour. Again is Simpson. Lord Armour. Too much weight on it, but the nature of the pitch helps the ball to stay, and Esiedu gets it away. Here is Armour. Now Jehu. He lost to take the initiative, but he's been stopped. That's a clever tackle from Martin Akoglu. Calvin Ampofo wasting time. Armour with a drive. He takes the deflection, and it goes out for a corner. Gripman had to be there to put his body in the way.
That was very good gather there from Asante Kotoko. Hilaria Double doing his best. The scrap fell to Amo, who didn't waste any time. But Gripman slid in to make that block. Experience at his best, making sure that that effort was not going on target.
Corner for Asante Kotoko. Patrick Esiedu. He seemed to be the dead ball specialist in this Asante Kotoko team, and he whips one in. Samba with a touch. Farouk's clearance gives Kotoko a throw in.
An area of big men there for Nations. Grefman, Simpson, Kofo. You need to take an extra leap to beat them in set deliveries.
The likes of Samba, Ablo, Adabo, they've got those kind of heights, and so they should be capable of dealing with them. Esiedu's throw is long, and Ablo has missed, and Nations is on the move. Safo, foul on him by Jehu.
And Hubert Joe knew exactly what he was doing. Left an arm right into the face of Ivan Safo. Close to the action. Referee Adongo was there. You can see the reaction from the Nations FC technical team. Not happy with that. He wanted at least a caution.
And it's obvious because it was deliberate. He knew he had lost the ball. He knew that his opponent was heading into an advantageous area, and he gets himself booked for it. And
he knew exactly what he was doing. Clearly, you can see no complaint. He's accepted in good faith.
He's becoming a mainstay in this Asante Kotoko team. Composure and a calmer temperament will be decisive if he's going to be successful at Asante Kotoko. Hubert Jehu was such a brilliant chap during his days at Brecum Chelsea. Put up amazing performances and caught the eye of Asante Kotoko scouts. And I tell you what, since his arrival in Kumasi, he's now become a fan favorite. He needs to work on the other side of the game.
For a player to push out Seth Kwejo and push out Emmanuel Enchi from the starting 11 clearly gives you an indication of the quality he possesses. Just like you said, the temperament and the stress need to be curtailed.
Nations nil, Kotoko nil, 57 minutes. In Abrankese, a trip down memory lane in Asante Kotoko's first visit here against Nations ended 2-2 in the 23-24 season. Amidou Diarra scored. Intimenu an on goal. Mukwala was on the score sheet that day as well, but Kotoko didn't read their lines well, caught up in this offside. Morvin Donzo seemed to have forgotten about how to time his runs.
Clearly it will take him some time for him to actually settle. Maybe a goal for him to unlock his actual prowess, but he was too quick for that ball.
And in that game I was talking about, in the opening season for Nations in the Premier League, you had to take a late goal by Michael Chejamna to deny Nations all 3 points. Here is Danso, Ano, Safo goes down just at the edge of the box, claiming he was pushed but no interest from the referee. Kelvin Ampofo is brought down by Morifin Donzo. Free kick Nations.
He was trying to reclaim the ball. Too much aggression in there, and he went in for the foot of his man as he looked for that ball. He's tried to work tirelessly, but I'm not sure that is where Kotoko wants him to perform.
Simpson will fancy his chances from a distance as a free kick for Nations. Razak Simpson steps forward. He goes for the drive, but he goes straight to the Kotoko wall. Here comes Peter Amidou Akwa. Scored against Gold Stars, but he's lost possession. He's able to retrieve it. Difficult to dispossess of the ball. Akwa now Jehu. Brilliant play, lovely skill from Jehu. Safu just can't stop him. Amoa. Amo. Back to Amoa. Amoa with a cross in, headed down by Gripman. Esiedu comes forward for it. That's what to skip past his marker. He sends a cross in, but the ball had already crossed over for a goal kick.
It was clear. Patrick Esiedu asking himself, I'm sure, why he decided to take an extra touch before whipping that ball in. A very good cover there from Akoko. He's done pretty well in making sure that Peter Amidou and Patrick Esiedu are not successful on the left-hand side of Kotoko's attack.
Here is Philip Amo. Good play from Walid Husseini to get to Amo, but Oseko fought long legs, is able to get to the ball first. Now Kelvin Ampofo looks for Ano. Good body shot from Ablo. And Kamara has given the ball away. And that was a throw leisurely.
And Nations will give Kotoko possession. Amidou Akwa goes by himself. Here is Amidou Akwa, but Gripman wins the ball and it's clean. No foul on the Kotoko winger.
Wasteful there from Peter Amidou. Gripman did his best. He decided not to ride into that challenge. And he just caught his man diving onto the ground. He takes too many extra touches before unleashing the right pass at the right time. Could it be an issue of Kotoko missing out on Albert Amoa, Kwame Poku, their trusted men up front? Doesn't seem to trust Morifin Donzo enough to be releasing the ball as early as you would expect.
Akwa. Martin Akoglu steps up and win possession. Here is Safo. He's been the busiest player for Nations this afternoon, Evan Safo. It's Ano against Ablo. Ano has got the pace, but Ablo has got the strength, and Ablo uses strength to advantage. Fouled in the process by Ano. Free kick Asante Kotoko. Clever defending from Joseph Ablo.
He knew exactly how to use his body well. Very strong. Once he got to the ball, there was no way he was going to allow Ano sneak that one away from his foot. Very, very good goalkeeping there from Kamara, in as much as he doesn't save, he commands his defense men so well. It will take something extraordinary to fetch us the opening goal this afternoon. And we'll be waiting for that to happen.
Kotoko coming up with the first substitution. Adam Inusa comes in to replace Philip Amo. Adam Inusa is also a product of the West Africa Football Academy. He actually played with Martin Akoglu, the Nations FC wing-back during their days at the academy in Sogakope. Has stints with Oko United, and Kotoko snapped him up at the start of the new season. He gets his chance to impress Abdul Karim Zito in this star-studded, talented Asante Kotoko setup.
As a player who is more direct, who has an eye for goal, more than you'd see from Philip Amo. And that is what Asante Kotoko has quickly unleashed. Nations will quickly need to devise a new strategy. Not the same way they marked Amo, but a different way to neutralize Inusa.
Emmanuel Ano shows too much of the ball to Ablo, but he gets the throw in for his effort. Evan Safo, Martin Akoglu, Safo, Kelvin Ampofo. Here is Prince Bedu. He kills one in, and Kamara doesn't struggle to do with it. He's trying to take the goalkeeper by surprise, Bedu, with that chip.
That was a very good drive there from Bedu going into the top right corner. But Kamara's height was always going to play to his advantage.
Confirmation of the nation's substitution done so for Abdul Rakib, Abubakar Rakib.
Was very much expected that was going to be the substitution. He seemed to be the only player up who did not offer too much. Kasim Mengolo Kansi wants a lot more disturbance to the Kotoko defense.
Especially in the offensive positions. He did well with the tracking back duties, but Danso is known for his ability to take defenders on, create spaces, and also score goals, but he didn't live up to it when he was on the pitch. Gripman's clearance. Samba heads it down. Here is a Siedu. Adabo. Siedu goes long. Morifin Donzo controls it down. Here is Hilary Adabo. Inusa's first involvement goes past Bedu. That's what to pick out Donzo. Donzo says Jehu and his effort deflects and goes agonizingly away for a corner kick.
That is what Inusa offers. He's very much smart, sharper, and he's direct.
So Nations are coming up. Their trusted left back. I think it's Kwame Boachi who goes in for Danso and not Rakib as earlier indicated. Danso, very cultured left back who can also play as a wing back, but he also offers so much in the offensive areas, and Nations wants to tap into that.
Clearly from the substitution, it looks like it's going to revert to a 4-back system.
One thing about Kasim Mingel is he doesn't hesitate to tweak tactics, change formation to his advantage. Esiedu goes to the far post, Samba O'Neill has the ball back and is straight to the nation stopper Hadina Bariu.
Very strong arms and hands in the air there from the goalkeeper. He knew exactly what he wanted to do, and he came out with no hesitation to pick up that ball.
Great man, Samba O'Neill's header. Patrick Esiedu is aiming at Donzo. Flag goes up. Morifin Donzo is offside.
It's quite unfortunate he hasn't been timing his runs properly. Anytime the ball is hit, and you can clearly see his dedication to his players. Just be quicker with the pass.
He remains Asante Kotoko's only out-and-out striker in the absence of Kwame Opoku and Albert Amwa, who are both injured, racing against time to be fit for the African Confederations Cup date with WAC of Morocco in Accra next week. Kotoko will be unhappy after the Confederation of African Football rejected the Babayara Stadium as unfit to host the African Confederations Cup game against WAC. They have to turn to the Accra Stadium next weekend.
They're very much broken-hearted and were expected to play at their favorite and dreaded Babayara Sports Stadium. Now they would have to go and play at the Accra Sports Stadium. Still in Ghana, they have a very difficult mystery to unravel.
Aqua claims to have been fouled by Martin Akoglu. Sapo can't combine the 1-2 with Akoglu, and Kotoko will get a throw in, but Amidu Aqua is up already. Sometimes these guys good at dramatizing.
The theatrics, but Adongo is not going to fall for any of this. 17-year-old has really had a very good day. That's the sentiment.
No, it's fair to say he's been firm, he's been spot on, and he's not been intimidated because he's a young chap. He's had a decent game in the opening 68 minutes at Dongo. Very impressive officiating from him.
Credit to the Catch Them Young refereeing policy of the Ghana Football Association. It's really unearthing some wonderful talent for the future.
Here is Amidu Aqua up against Martin Akoglu. Aqua's energy is being met by the resilience of Martin Akoglu, who has been spot on in keeping Aqua at bay in this afternoon's game.
I think he's done pretty good work there. That has limited his attacking instinct. But I think his first duty and first role is that make sure at the rear we are peerless.
Debbie in the Garden City, 70 minutes. Nations, nil. Kotoko, nil. Inusa to Donzo. Try the right-footed cross.
Inusa seems to be trouble. Kwame Boache giving the ball away in a very good position for his opponent. Thankfully, Razak Simpson was right there to stop that attack.
Amwa with the cross. Good reaction from goalkeeper for Nations, Adani Bariui. Here's a double, 70 minutes. Kotoko on the move. Lord Amos kick straight onto Kwamboache. Kotoko yet to beat Nations in the Premier League game. Benton doing that at a Brancaster this afternoon. Here's Lord Amwa. Looks for another Lord in Adabo, and Adabo gets the corner.
Very intelligent play there from Lord Adabo, getting the ball back to Amwa after availing himself for the throw-in. The return pass was very swift. A credit to Boache sliding in there to make that block.
Asante Kotoko's only victory over Nations was in the round of 64 of the 2023-24 FA Cup. They beat Nations by 4-2. Mukwala on a brace, Lamptey and Opon scoring each with Asamoah Boats in a free hit, also hitting the back of the net for Nations in that game. Walid Husseini's corner straight to the Nations goalkeeper. He's been calm, composed, and very good to watch this afternoon. Hadina Bariu
has maintained his composure. He's actually made sure that every time he comes out for the ball, he has a firm grasp. His fists have been very powerful. And I'm not sure if you're a Kotoko player, you'll be feeding him with the ball. And his most dreaded and comfortable territory has the goalkeeper's area.
Nations are coming up with another substitution. They are bringing on Tete, Samuel Tete, who takes the place of the former Hoho United striker, Farouk Mohammed. It's not happened for Farouk since he joined Nations. His goals virtually propelled Hoho to the Premier League last season, and he caught the attention of Kasim Mingo. He's yet to produce those magical moments for Nations since his arrival, Farouk.
It's been quite difficult for him, and he needs to do a lot more, better than he's been offering.
Morfin Donzo was trying to tee up Aqua, but I'm thinking about the reason for that awkward clearance from Gripman. He was under no pressure. He had players calling. He decided to go into the stands with that clearance.
That was poor decision making from him. He could see his captain, Zach Simpson, calling for that ball, calling for calm. He's just giving the ball away easily to his opponent, and this is an attacking throw-in.
Again is the Nation's goalkeeper Hadina Bariu, with a broad smile on his face. He's enjoying himself in his Premier League debut.
Having a very good time. That is the only time in the game I've seen him spill a grab, but he firmly picked it up with ease.
Inusa goes past Kofo, shows great desire. Here is Inusa Adams, not afraid to go in for that one, but Kofo shows he's a big man. He's got experience.
Using his body so well. That is the mark of a good defender. And Inusa got past him the first time, quickly recovered and closed out the space. He knew exactly what Inusa wanted to do, and he just shepherded the ball out of play.
Inusa was in that Wafa squad, coached by Prosper Ogum, to second place finish in the Premier League. A couple of seasons ago. Hilary Adabo. Looking for Donzo, flicks it. Kofo is alone, heads it down. Walid Husseini traps it down. He comes to Amwa. Amwa wants to send a cross, but stopped by Kwame Boache. He gets the ball again, goes past Boache. Here's Lord Amwa. Goes low. Inusa just can't sort his feet out.
Inusa wasn't expecting that. He seemed was expecting that delivery to go directly into the penalty area.
Here is Emmanuel Ano. Deswo to pick out Safo. He goes for drive. And he goes out for a goal kick.
Very clever and intelligent play there from Ano. He knew he wasn't going to take on Sabonel. Play the ball right onto the foot of Safo. He went in with a strike. It lacked venom. It lacked any power. Precision.
First Premier League season for the former Park Academy midfielder. And he's showing glimpses of the quality he brings into the top flight. Here is Safo again. Wins the foul. Sandwiched in between Adabo and Patrick Esiedu. He wins the sympathy of the referee.
Clearly see Esiedu was late with that challenge. He lost the ball. Safo won it. Just decided to clip his man.
Their very first Premier League meeting ended in a pulsating 2-2 drawn game. We're into 76 minutes in their 5th Premier League meeting and is goalless. Simpson with the ball in. Headed down by Walid and cleared by Amwa. Inusa shows interest. He's fouled by Prince Bedu. Assistant referee waving the flag, an indication of the foul. And referee Adongo has reached his pocket. He splashed his yellow card to Prince Bedu for that cynical challenge on Inusa.
He's taken one. Usman, and that is very good delivery into the penalty area, and that seemed to have brought that pain in there. But clearly, he just went in for his man. Late challenge.
There's trouble for Nations. Prince Bedu on the yellow card. And on the other side, Nations have a player bleeding from the head. That's Raymond Oko Gripman when he had attempted an effort in the Kotoko area a while ago.
But you can clearly see that the referee very much cautious with his approach. He knew exactly what had happened, but Gripman fell into that challenge. Came offwards, and you can see the reaction from the two sets of fans. Not very much happy in the Asante Kotoko away jersey. Complaints all over. But hopefully Gripman gets back stronger onto the pitch. Barry has had an excellent game. The goalkeeper who stepped right into the boots of number 1 from the U team is great.
What a day for the 17-year-old Angelo Sakrugu Adongo. Big game for the young chap.
Come at the man, and he's really come as the man for today's occasion.
Samba O'Neill to take Kotoko's free kick from their own half. Sends one deep in. Gripman, that's Simpson who has the ball down. Gripman is still receiving treatment. Mind you, so it's 10 against 11 as we speak. But he's back on the field. Gripman is 11-all now. There's a push on Simpson by Morifin Donzo.
Simpson, very good defensive work there, making sure that Donzo doesn't have any snippet of the passes being delivered from Kotoko's midfield. You can see clearly captain wanting to push the team towards getting 3 points. A second successive draw at home would not go well for them.
Calvin Mpofo, here is Emmanuel Ano. Asiedu, that's what to get to his captain, Samba O'Neill. Ano's final touch, Hans Kotoko. A breather is a goal kick now.
Looks more like we'd have to wait for something instinctive, something that would come from individual intuition and ingenuity to break the deadlock in this game.
10 more minutes to go. Nations nil, Kotoko nil. Bedu sends one in. Samuel Tete is interested, but it's Ablo who arrives and finds his goalkeeper, who, in an attempt to get the ball in, turns it out awkwardly for a throw into Nations. Kwamboache to take. He's got a sweet left foot, but unable to get his cross. Inusa. Nations win possession. Here is Safo. Amwa shoves him off the ball and win possession for Walid. Now, a double to Walid Husseini. Amwa is trying to pick out Donzo, but Osekufo is always first in the air. Aqua to Esiedu. Too much on that ball for Aqua.
It's been lots of misplaced passes there from Patrick Esiedu. He hasn't made the best of decisions in this game, trying to get the ball quickly to his forwards.
Four Premier League meetings between Kotoko and Nations, 3 wins for Nations and a draw. Here is Samuel Tete. Now Bedu, Kufuor, Boache, stopped by Jehu, Kelvin Ampofo, Kwame Boache, being heckled by Walid Husseini, and is a foul.
Nations gradually becoming the better side of the last 5 minutes, taking control of the midfield, making good advancement, but prudent decision making in the final third of the pitch has been lacking.
Same way they ended the first half of Nations is the same way they want to end this game. Kwame Boache with a free kick into Kotoko's area. Patrick Esiedu gets it away. And Simpson is up against Donzo. He arrives to get to his goalkeeper, who turns the ball away.
That was pretty much good there from Zach Simpson to weather the storm. Donzo was coming in with lots of power, lots of energy and pace. Credit to the goalkeeper, he just had to just blast that away, not taking any chances.
Ablo leaves it for Kamara to take. Here is a double, loses the battle to Safo, and Safo brings Jehu down right before the referee. This should be a yellow card. No excuses for Safo. And Safo gets himself booked in a very silly manner.
That was very silly, the poor decision making there from Safo. He just had to pass the ball quickly, gave it away, and held on to his man.
He knows it was an avoidable card, Safo. Substitution time, Asante Kotoko will bring on the former Bechem United midfielder Seth Kojose. And he takes the place of Hubert Jehu. The 2 new boys will be exchanging places. Jehu came from Brekum, Kojose, Seth Kojo came from Bechem. Jehu has gone out. No one of those vintage performances since joining Asante Kotoko, but it's fair to say he's been above average in today's game.
Well, clearly, it was quite difficult for him. The nature of the pitch and the midfielders he met in the opposing team, very much workaholic. It was going to be difficult for him to have a field day, knowing the kind of performances he's been putting up for Asante Kotoko in recent times.
We're into the last 5 minutes of this Ashanti derby, with Kotoko having the free kick and about to execute. Nations have their goalkeeper down. Under circumstances we can't verify at the moment. He just went down, an off-the-ball incident. Very difficult to tell what exactly happened to him. I've seen Akoglu take out his yellow card again. Who is going to be the victim this time?
We'll wait to get the confirmation. I'm not sure who he's going to show the yellow card to. But Adongo knows. It's either someone is trying to play smarter in an unlawful manner that goes against the laws of the game.
Firm, precise, and very authoritative. Simpson having a word with the coach, and Amidu Akwa enjoying himself with Simpson. These guys displaying some great sportsmanship beyond the 3 points. There's some friendship after the game.
The love of football matters so much. The love that we share, camaraderie. You never know when you're going to meet your opponent in the same team.
And guess what, Kelvin? At the Nikraku Park in Tema, Vision FC are demolishing the reigning champions, BBN Gold Stars. Vision are up by 3 goals to 0 in Tema against BBN Gold Stars. BBN Gold Stars just lost the game to Asante Kotoko during the midweek by 2 goals to 0. So the exit of Frimpong Manso seem not to be bringing anything positive to Gold Stars, who are yet to unveil their new coach, Maxwell Konedu.
It was quite difficult looking at how things pan out, and clearly from the games that Gold Stars were playing, you could just identify weakness in the team. You could identify that they weren't the side that gelled last season. Lucky to have won that game against Swedro All Blacks, but Kotoko Vision putting them in their rightful place.
Goalkeeper is the recipient of that yellow card. Referee clearly knew this guy was wasting time. He wanted to buy some minutes, and he get himself booked for that antics.
That is so needless. It's quite needless, and that is an unfortunate one to take.
Let's see what Kotoko makes from this free kick.
It's quite surprising, the 2 sets of players arguing over the positioning of that free kick. Looks like complaining about Asante Kotoko stealing a couple of yards.
Kotoko have a date with WAC of Morocco. They want to use this game as a perfect dress rehearsal for the bigger task on Sunday. But they are unable to break nations down. Samba O'Neill, Patrick Esiedu, Walid Fuseni, all of them behind this free kick. He's asking Esiedu to still take it back. He's satisfied with the positioning now. Free kick for Asante Kotoko. We are into the final minutes of 90. It's 89 here. Samba O'Neill is equally interested. Referee whistles. Samba O'Neill goes over it. Walid Fuseni. Esiedu with a drive. He takes the deflection, and Kotoko have a corner.
That was a powerful drive. Better was quite aiming for the goal onto that deflection.
Nations FC have a difficult task next week when they play Dreams FC. On match day 6 of the Premier League, it's going to be a battle between 2 struggling sides. Dreams are yet to win in the Premier League, and Nations are winless in their last 3. Corner for Asante Kotoko. Asiedu to take. Whips one in, headed down by Simpson. Walid Fuseni. Esiedu goes low, but Prince Bedu steps up, clears it. A double is for Kotoko. Here is Esiedu. Swings one in, headed down by Simpson. Here is Samba. Awkward clearance from the Kotoko captain. Kojose. Some brilliant control from said Kojose. Aqua can't go past Martin Akoglu. His Nations on the offensive. Here comes the former Wafa man. As Martin Akoglu tries to set up Emmanuel Ano, but Not a good pass enough to pick out Ano.
Not quite the best of passes, and Ano would be asking why he hasn't had decent passing to him. Kotoko will be glad after Peter Midu gave that ball away. Concentration must be high.
Here's Aqua. Now Inusa. Aqua with a cross in. Kwame Boache heads it down. Samuel Tete controls. Tete, one of the new boys who joined from Change of Children. Here is Ano on the move. Kamara out of his area and grabs it.
Very good read there of the ball. Came out. Was too close to him. Quite a number of misplaced passes for Ano to pick up.
Inusa goes past. Gripman sends a cross, but Simpson is there with the clearance. So after the injury to Gripman said he gets a bandage. Simpson has got a headband. Similar looks, but has got dreadlocks as well. Ano goes past Ablo. Here is Ano. It's a foul. There was an initial foul. The referee overlooked it, gave advantage to Ano, but he just couldn't overlook this one from Albert Amoa.
Lord Amoa knew exactly
Lord
what he
Amoa
was
should
facing.
say. Albert is on the sick bed.
He knew exactly what he was doing. He couldn't allow Ano to progress. He's taking one for the team. The two sets of teams leaving quite dangerously at this moment. That was a very good run from Ano, knowing exactly where he wanted to drive the ball to. Shrugged off that initial challenge, but there was no way Amwa was going to allow him to survive.
Nations have a set of support base from the SHS just around the Brankesi, the Jachi Pramso Senior High School. And they're always here to show their support to Nations, but they are yet to celebrate any goals in 92 minutes so far.
Quite a number of schools around trying to integrate them into the love for Nations Football Club. From Jacha Pramso, you can also find the Osea Duchum Senior High School, as well as the Girls STEM School at Kontinase. It's quite interesting how these young lads get to the stadium to support this club.
We're into 3 minutes of stoppage time. Remaining 4 minutes will be crucial for these two sides as they aim to grab the much-needed winner in stoppage time. Simpson's delivery headed back by Ablo. Handball against Inusa. He complains and denies it was a handball, but referee Adongo thinks otherwise.
It's quite surprising Morifin Donzo struggling in this game. Expected to pick up that ball with ease. Don't know why he decided to go in where there's that. Quite unfortunate from the man who is desperate to find the target for the first time for the Porcupines.
Nations have a free kick. The kind of movements you were expecting, especially when the game is getting to the dying stages. Free kick for Nations. We're into 4 minutes of stoppage time. Razak Simpson, Evan Safo, Kwame Boache, all of them showing great interest. It looks like he'll be a Simpson territory. Safo bends one. That is disappointing from the midfielder. All indication was pointing towards Simpson. Safo pops up and is wasted.
Very wasteful efforts there from him. Could have been better. In such positions, you need to test the goalkeeper.
We're into the final 2 minutes of stoppage time. Struggling nations trying to dig deep to get something from this game, but try as they do, Kotoko stands firm at the back. Amidu Akwa up against Gripman. Asiedu with a cross, Simpson's header. Away by Gripman. He goes down as a foul against Asante Kotoko.
Just being a warrior in this game, making sure that he helps Razak Simpson and Kufuor to avert all the threats from Asante Kotoko, and he's done that with very minimal mistakes. That is very creditable performance.
Final minute of stoppage time. Asante Kotoko holding Nations FC. And if it ends this way, that will be the second draw in 5 meetings between these Ashanti regional based teams. And if it ends this way, Kotoko move to the 3rd position of the league log on 8 points, and Nations FC will remain on the 12th spot with 5 points, pending the outcome of tomorrow's games in the Premier League. Adabo clears it out. Martin Okoglu returns it. Kelvin Ampofo brought down by Seth Kojose right in the middle of the park. We've done 7 minutes of stoppage time. Referee Angelos Adongo Akurugu has whistled for the end of the game here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex in Abrankese. The struggles for Nations FC in the season's Premier League continues. They failed to win, and they extend their winless streak to 4 games without a win in the Ghana Premier League after 5 matches. Not a good story to tell from Abrankese. But for Asante Kotoko, having not won against Nations FC, they were coming here with the aim of breaking that jinx. It didn't materialize. They've not conceded and they've not lost the game. Hopefully, it puts them in the right conditions for their Confederations Cup tie against WAC of Morocco next weekend. It's full time at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex in Abrankese. Nations FC 0, Kotoko 0.
So it's ended goalless here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex after 90 minutes of exciting football. Nothing to separate Asante Kotoko and Nations FC, meaning that Nations FC have gone 5 games without a defeat to Asante Kotoko. Kotoko is still waiting for their first victory against Nations FC. My name is Butale Yakubu, and I've been joined by the coach of Asante Kotoko, Karim Zito. Coach, 90 minutes, 1 point here. First of all, how would you assess the team's overall performance?
Well, the 2 teams, we all did well. We all came with an attitude of wanting to win. But the unfortunate side of our story is the field wasn't conducive. Seriously, it wasn't conducive.
for us to exhibit the nice football we wanted to play. So if we are the both teams somehow resorted to long pass to the so that is what made the beauty of the game. Apart from that, I think when you go to play somebody's home and then you don't beat him, you come out unscattered. I think I'm okay. But we came here seriously to beat them. You saw how my boss were eagerly going for it to be able to win.
Okay, now two of your most creative players, Hube Jehu and Walid, were badly affected by the soggy nature of the pitch. Why didn't you change the system?
It's not like, you see, I'm building a team to face Africa. And again, I'm building a team for consistency purpose. So do you want to tell me they only play where the field is conducive? No. They have to acquire all the experience, so that anytime we go and there are such a situation, they can do. But seriously, I'm also affected by the absence of Amwa today. I'm affected by the absence of Amwa. But we are preparing him for the Wadak game.
Another clean sheet for you. I mean, on the road, 1 point going into that game in the CAF Confederation Cup. How important is this result?
Oh, it's very, very important. You know, anytime I'm going to play a game before the African Cup, even from dreams, or the game before that game will be my plan of how to approach the FA. So I saw, you know, we didn't give them space, we didn't give them time, so they were resorted in kicking high, and we sometimes even put the ball and we start to manage ourselves out. So I'm okay.
Now, I saw you share a word with Kasim Mingle right after the full-time whistle. What exactly were you telling him?
I told him he's lucky.
He's lucky. We wish you the best of luck in your game against with that. That is Coach Karim Zito there of Asante Kotoko. Having spoken to him, and he says that they were actually lucky. Their opponents were lucky not to have conceded. So he ended goalless here, stalemate, but teams going home with 1 point. I'll be joined by Kasim Mingo Okanse, the head coach of Nations as well. Now, Coach, 90 minutes, full-time, goalless draw, 1 point on the road. Your team's overall performance, how did you see that?
It wasn't bad, but the nature of the pitch, the priorities of a good football. But it wasn't bad. You know, normally we don't balloon the ball. We don't kick the long balls. We are used to keeping the ball, building from the behind. But because the nature of the pitch, we could not do it. So our boys were complaining. They were finding it difficult that the way we play, it doesn't suit them. I said the nature of the pitch will determine how you play. So we could have done better than this, but it's football.
Now, I saw that Emmanuel Ano had some good half chances. Do you think that it was due to the nature of the pitch, that is why he couldn't convert those chances? Because I saw you fuming on the touchline.
Yes, the nature of the pitch. You know, when he moved the ball, and when the water stopped the ball, that's why he couldn't convert. About 2 goals, you should have converted them in the pitch. So it's part of football.
Now, 1 point going into the next game. How important would you say a draw against a team like Kotoko is?
We wanted to win, but the pitch did not help us. So we take it like that. We got a point.
Of course. Big one for you, and wish you all the very best in your next game. Coach Kasim Okanse Mingo there talking to us after that heroics with this team. He had one with Bechem United where he actually did a good job, where they found themselves in the mix. But this time, they have drawn against Asante Kotoko, meaning that 5 games, Kotoko have not been able to defeat this Nations FT team. You're man of the match. Congratulations to you, first of all.
Thank you, sir.
Do you think that the nature of the pitch was a factor in this team not beating Kotoko today?
Oh, yeah, I can say that pitch has really disappointed us. Because this is not how we play our game. This is not how we play. But next time, we make sure, next time, we'll go and beat them. Yes.
Now, it was difficult for both teams, but what made the difference in your performance?
Oh yeah, what my coach taught me was like I should feel relaxed, like I shouldn't panic, like everything is normal. When I see the ball, I should go. If I didn't see the ball, I should stand. So that's what I put in my head, and I'm doing what I'm doing.
It's another clean sheet for you on the road, but not a win for Nations FC. What do you think must change going into your next game?
Well, my next game, I'll make sure that I'm going to encourage my strikers, especially my strikers. I'm going to encourage them so that they'll deliver goal for me.
Thank you very much and wish
Thank
you
you too.
all the
Thank you.
very best there. The goalkeeper for Nations FC being adjudged the most valuable player in today's game. But it's a stalemate here. Both teams going away with 1 point each. Nations FC drawing goalless with Asante Kotoko, meaning that Nations stretched their unbeaten run against Kotoko to 5. For the Porcupines, they are still in search of their first win against Nations FC, and they'll hope that when the second round comes around and they host them at the Barbera Sports Stadium, they would be able to get a win. My name is Mutala Yakubu. Remember that on Monday we'll come your way again with another big clash at the Accra Sports Stadium. Heart of Folk hosting High Flying Heart of Lions in that one, and that will wrap up match day 5 in the Ghana Premier League. It has been a good one here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. I did this with Michael Akomia and, of course, the former coach of the Bieni Gold Stars, a Premier League winner, that is Frimpong Man. So from us here at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex, we say au revoir, bye, and see you on Monday at 4 p.m.